A Goblin war boss has risen to the height of commander and now rebels against the forces of the Eye. An Orc armada has been sent to deal with this and put the Goblin war boss back into his place. However, who will come out on top today, we will find out. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to some more Dawnless Day for Total War Attila. This is, of course, the Lord of the Rings modification, and today we have a pretty exciting siege battle. The Goblins are defending, and it's going to be really interesting to see how the Goblins do fare. They're not exactly one of the tankier races in the entirety of the Dawnless Days, and they're going up against Mordor, you know, equipped with pretty decent Uruks, trolls, and all that lovely stuff. So yeah, they're going to have their task cut out for them, but the defenses might be able to hold and send this Eye invasion, or this Eye kind of, I guess, rebellion? I guess the Orcs are rebelling a bit more back to where it came. And oh my god, the day has come. Sauron has brought the darkness. That just got really, really dark right there. Yeah, he's brought up. So we're going to go on slow-mo really quickly, just take a quick glimpse of the battlefield, and then we'll dive into the action. So the majority of the Goblin force is stuck back here in the inner keep. They've kind of got their better units there, the more elite Goblin Wolf Chain Guard, as well as the Goblin Blade Warriors as well. Much better forces, and they're kind of very resembling of the forces from the movie right there. And the Chief Town Guard, the Goblin King himself, is always situated on this left hand side with, yeah, some pretty elite goblins ready to throw themselves into combat. The forces of the Eye, the forces of Mordor, again, are equipped with a ton of Uruk Throng. They've got some Orc pikemen as well, a bunch of catapults as well to make some breaches. Some more guards of the teeth. These guys are extremely deadly and extremely elite, so definitely not a unit they're going to want to get on the wrong side of. And then they're just more backed up with some more guards of the teeth back there and some more Uruk Throng. So yeah, a pretty decent army, I'd say, from Mordor. Very kind of using their numbers to their advantage. They're going to be throwing up their quality. And I really like the strategy that the attacking player is doing here. He's throwing forward two whole units of these these Uruks right here. And then he just has the unit of Orc pikemen sitting in back. The Orc pikemen are going to be a much more weaker defensive unit, just due to the fact that they are Orcs, not Uruks. But they're kind of shielding quite nicely with the Uruks, and you know, the Uruks in a 1v1 will take down the Goblins fairly easily. That's one of the reasons why I love this faction. I love Mordor so much, is they have so much versatility in their army. They have some units that will kind of hold the line and they can utilize their pikemen very effectively. However, the pikemen are of course going to be the main focus for most of the archer fire coming in. And yeah, even though they are fighting Goblin heavy archers, the Goblin archers are not very good. They tend just to kind of fire numerous shots, and it's all about applying the debuff to your opponent more than anything else. I believe you get a little bit of a morale debuff, melee defense debuff whenever you're taking arrows, and that's kind of their objective. Hitting pikemen will be, you know, fairly decent overall, but yeah, not the greatest target you really want to commit into right there. This settlement is super cool as well. There is also a rear passageway you can, and you know how much I like a rear passageway. You can kind of attack from the back. Unfortunately though, because this is just a 1v1, the Orcs didn't really have much of the strength to do that. Does seem like a little bit of a sally out right here as well. More Goblin warriors throwing their way forward, but a lot of chaff being, it's like a lot of light infantry being committed to this fight, and that's really the main goal right now, is just to simply tire out the enemy, get them from that eager status down to exhausted or very tired. And yeah, basically just kind of act as that shield wall. Also, keeping these towers alive for as long as possible is pretty huge. They rack up a kill every like 5-6 seconds. And of course, depleting these siege towers as well, keeping them at bay, is always going to be a good play. However, it does seem like the left flank has been completely ripped apart now, and we are seeing the attacking player doing a smart move here, bringing his soldiers round. I was going to say kind of hit these Goblin light infantry in the back, but it doesn't even seem like they need to. We got some heavier infantry here now. The Goblin Blade Warriors now falling up into a Goblin shield wall. Going to be giving them a little boost to that melee defense. 46 melee defense on them is not too bad. You know, it's going to be matching the Uruk Throng. Obviously, the Uruk Throng have a little bit more other stats, and here they go, charging in once again. Going to be a little bit of a very close kind of hold up right there. I guess they're going to be utilizing the pikesmen, just stepping into the Goblins and the artillery is now ranging in from atop the fort inside the village itself. This is one of the really cool maps as well, is because you can outflank your enemy quite effectively. If the player knows about it, you can sneak soldiers through these paths like here, so you do need to be very careful. It doesn't look like it as much, but you can get through all these little gardens and other stuff, so you have to be very, very aware of that. It does seem like the outer line has now been taken care of as more soldiers push their way up, and the right hand side is dwindling. By the way, guys, as well, I am always looking for more replays. So if you do have any more Total War replays, whether it's on any of these mods or on a previous game, you go and post them in over on my Discord. Obviously, if you are playing on the Rise of Mordor Discord, which I'll link down below in the description, they have their own replay section. I check that every now and again. So yeah, if you do have any cool scenario battles or anything like that, any good competitive battles, post them over there, and you might see it on the channel, as I'm always looking for more and more battles to go ahead and cover. So the Goblin archers are kind of covering in here, just trying to do as much damage as possible. Balance of power wise, we're actually pretty even right now. It does seem like the Goblins are kind of, up against it, but you do got to keep in mind that, they haven't really committed too much to this fight. They've been using a lot of their super cheap throwaway units, which really don't mean anything. And now only are they starting to commit their tier 2s and tier 3s, which are these Goblin Blade Warriors. And this isn't even their highest tier infantry as well. So they are really committing their weaker units to this fight. It'll be interesting to see how each side does. Like the Uruks is slightly winning this fight, but the Goblin Bane Warriors are doing a great job. I mean, I guess they do have quite similar stats. It's just the Uruks have a little bit more melee defense, and the Goblin Warriors have a little bit more melee attack, and obviously the morale is going to be much higher for the Uruks. But it's not like this unit of Goblin Bane Warriors is so heavily outmatched in this fight. One of the things is that you can only take a handful of these Goblin Bane Warriors. I think it's a free max whenever you pick them, whereas the Uruks can be spammed to no end. So the Goblins are definitely a weak army, that is for sure. Siege towers continue to be brought up, but are now in range of the artillery, so I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see some of these shots trying to maybe destroy a siege tower or two. That'd be pretty good. Also, just getting any hits off here, like a good flaming catapult on this big section of the troops would be huge. That'd be a lot of dead for the attackers, and that's not something they really want. Does seem like they are going to be satisfying, maybe trying to destroy a siege tower. Oh no, I think they maybe try and range in and try and kill some artillery here. Again, not a bad idea. They do not want a breach to occur. Yeah, more artillery coming in on the pikes. And as you guys can see, there is a lot of archers back here. But it does seem like, this position has been lost. The outer city is now being overrun. We are getting forces coming in here. Again, wouldn't be a bad idea maybe just to commit a unit over here. Oh no, actually I take that back. Reinforcements have arrived, and the Goblins, the Goblins are definitely going to be in a little bit of a rough state right now. Pikes turning up is going to be something to turn the tide in this fight for sure. The sheer weight of numbers is going to be crushing down on them, and as strong as they do attempt to fight, as much as they commit to this, this is a losing battle. But unfortunately, there is no real retreat. There's no way out of here. Oh, and it does seem like the Uruks are chasing down, trying to kill as many of these Goblin archers as possible on their retreat. And I think actually maybe have got them. They need to be very careful though, because archers are now skittering up the walls. It'd be so cool if the Goblins actually walked up the walls. That'd be so funny. But the Goblins are now turning up here, even though they can barely look over. They're like Gimli at Helm's Deep. They can barely even look over the positions. Luckily, that doesn't matter though, because it's a video game, and the arrows are now going to be coming in and hitting these guys. And they do get their archers out as well, so that's good. Again, the Goblin archers aren't the best, but this unit does actually have 72 kills. That is max value right there, and still has a lot of ammunition left. Do they have any supply barrels anywhere? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately, because being able to replenish that unit as well would be super nice. But here we go. The outer layer has been taken down. This poor forlorn hope of a unit of Goblin Bane Warriors now up against it. And they're going to be just mincemeat now. Taking down as many Uruks as they can though. They've got pikes on one side, another unit of Uruks on the other. I'm honestly surprised how well they're holding though. They are really keeping this line under control though, for as long as physically possible. Very impressive indeed. Yeah, big shout out to them as now artillery starts to rattle the walls. The archers are firing in, hitting the towers. Shoot patrols! Shoot patrols! And oh my god, the wall is collapsing. A handful of goblins unfortunately losing their lives there. And this is going to be bad. Like, they're going to be overrun here. The artillery coming in going to destroy that any second now. There's still so much ammunition left. And that's going to be great. Having that actual attack point is going to be huge. And then you maybe put the siege tower like here and here. And then you maybe destroy another part of the wall here. And then you have like 4 attack points into this inner keep. It's going to be hard for defenders to hold this. Especially, you know, I don't rate too much of the goblin infantry. I don't really rate too much of the goblin infantry at holding the line, so we'll have to see. And there you go, the left hand side has now broken now. So the goblins are definitely up against it, but they have a lot of soldiers still left remaining. They have them trolls. Something that I might have done if I was the attacking player was wait to blow these up. I probably would have held off until these were both on 80%. And then maybe have decided to try and smash through this, you know, kind of wait until maybe the AI will, or not the AI, sorry, maybe the opponent defending player will bring some soldiers up on this wall, and then you can maybe utilize that against them by destroying it whilst their soldiers are on it. You know, it's always not a bad idea to kind of bide your time a tad and wait for the artillery to come in and destroy that a little bit later. But here we go, the attack is now moving in, the Uruk throng being sent forward, and they're going to be meeting the goblins atop the wall. The towers are now already shooting in. And the goblins do get that nice little charge off. Again, we've got to keep in mind as well, we do have a unit of cave trolls over here. The cave trolls, pretty decent. The mountain trolls, as they're called in the game. The Uruks are much stronger. The actual Uruks variant, or the Mordor variant of them, are really good as more of that wall does go down. And actually ends up destroying a ton of goblins who were stuck on that wall. That's what I'm saying. You could have maybe baited them in and then maybe not realized. Definitely not a bad idea to do that. But yeah, the Uruks are, you know, really good. If you use them right, you can get hundreds upon hundreds of kills. The cave trolls do kind of struggle a tad just solely because of their lack of armor. They are always going to be the focus point of like all incoming missile fire. So generally you have to be quite careful with them, and especially if you're fighting the elves or Gondor or the dwarfs, they have the units to normally just kind of focus out your trolls immediately and kind of make them a wasted pick. But in a matchup like this, they're not bad. And you know, the cave trolls, I don't think there is any missiles besides the artillery for this faction. And there's a handful of units, some guards of the teeth back here. Boys, you might want to get these 3 units into battle because they are, you know, they're a big unit. They give courage. They'll keep your Uruks along a little bit longer, and they'll give other bonuses which are really, really valued. So I'm definitely surprised we're not seeing more of them in this engagement. That is for sure. The Uruks are making, the Uruks are making good progress though on this wall. Climbing over the rabble and the rubble to make their way that little bit further forward. And we also have the units again making their way around here. Again, it would not be a bad idea to maybe try and shut off this this turret maybe. By making your way across the wall, you'll probably end up fighting some people. We do have the archers coming in though as well. The Goblin heavy archers are focusing in. I'm not sure if they're shooting the soldiers on the wall maybe, or if they're shooting the pikemen. Probably the pikemen would be much more likely. Yeah, I think they'll definitely be focusing down them pikemen as best as they can. And there you go. The guards of the teeth now being brought in. Besides this unit, but it's just chilling back here. It's just simply chilling. More units being brought in. The artillery is also ranging in. And we do have some fighting on the wall as well. As I said, the artillery piece comes flying in. Oh, we also want to be scary as the Uruk mercenaries here. So the Mordor Uruks, which are kind of like a supplement unit for the goblins now fighting on the other side. Which is quite funny to see. I guess the Goblin King was paying them more money, so it decided to stick around. And do we have the Goblin King involved in this engagement as well? Just one of the upper units. Yeah, this is the High Chieftain Guard. Goblin King is still sitting back. And what about missiles? Yeah, but missiles are all trying to kill the pikes. It's something that the Goblins are going to definitely struggle with if they don't manage to take them out. But a lot of arrow fire going in, trying their best to kill them. And for the most part, like this unit of Goblin Blade Warriors is holding 68 kills. They've lost 40. This is a decent little stand. They obviously have given up the walls themselves, but they can start setting up traps as well. You know, there is only a handful of ways down, so wherever these guys do go, if they come out here, then all of a sudden you can kind of come in from both flanks and hit them. That's going to give you your advantage. If they come down this passage, you can kind of close them off. If they go this way, you can then hit them in the side. So there's plenty of ways to take them down. And they are able to actually break this unit of Orc Pikes. It doesn't matter, these unit of Orc Pikes are now embedded in this unit of Uruks to kind of give them a little bit of protection. The Uruks right here will kind of use their shields quite effectively. Able to bring them down. The problem is, though, I'm seeing in this battle, is I don't really know a way that the Guards of the Teeth, like there's 3 units of Guards of the Teeth, maybe the player realized that and decided to leave one back. I don't know how the Goblins will kill these. Like maybe some rear charges with patrols, maybe, you know, kind of envelopments. Even if they're enveloped, the Guards of the Teeth are such a good pike unit, they might really struggle to kind of do that killing blow. And trying to take back these walls also could be such a good idea. Like, I think maybe pushing up here and here at the same time, and then actually surrounding these unit of Uruk pikes be a great way of dealing with them. But again, I feel like that would be quite difficult, because then you wouldn't be able to use all your numbers to your advantage, because you'd be fighting with like 4 or 5 ranks deep. And now they've come down, you can utilize these trolls very effectively to kill them. This is a perfect matchup here for the trolls. If you've never seen the Rise of Mordor trolls before, these are the current standards of them. They're really good. They have some really cool animations. All custom animations at the moment. More coming all the time as well. In every update, they have more and more, which is beautiful. The only downside is we don't have custom sounds for them yet. So, yeah, they do kind of still blow their trunk as if they were an elephant, as that's what kind of they're designed after. But yeah, still really impressive stuff that they've completely edited in these units and stuff. And yeah, it's super exciting for the future of this mod, because this means we can have wargs. This means we can have so much more. Now there you go, the stupid Attila tower destroying. Whenever the flag gets taken, the tower just blows up out of nowhere. It's so stupid, and actually really helped out the Goblins there, killing half of this Uruk throng and actually close to breaking it. Yeah, kill a troll, but yeah, the trolls have so much HP that it doesn't really matter. Back on the main line as well, it does seem like for the most part, the Goblins are holding. They're keeping this. They're dealing with the pikes very effectively, and there's not a lot out here now. Taking a look at the numbers, the attackers have 2,000 soldiers left. The defenders have 1,400, so about a 600 man difference, or orc difference. So there's still ammunition left on this side. The trolls are now able to then now move in elsewhere. Up to 44 kills is not too bad. And this tower has also now gone down, killing half the unit, because again, Total War Attila, completely balanced game. Look at that, so silly. This is really working out. I mean, I felt like the Goblins needed this, but still working out in their favor. Not wanting to overcommit here, this unit is just kind of chilling. The towers are now destroyed, though, which will give them a pretty nice opportunity to push forward. And again, the shock infantry once again smashing into their Uruk brethren, looking to deal as much damage as possible on the charge. And that really is the strength of the Uruk command, or the Mordor Uruks, I guess is what they're called, the mercenaries. Is that charge, that 2-handed weapon, that high melee attack, and actually decent melee damage as well. 47 melee damage is very nice indeed. But the Goblins are definitely running on fumes now. The charge coming in on the artillery piece, which is out of ammunition now, so that's fine. Quickly picked off by a unit of High Chieftain Guard. And I can only imagine momentarily we're getting this unit around the side as well. However, they are seeming like they want to hold that back in reserve for now, which is definitely not a bad idea. Oh, and some of the Uruks actually came back as well, and then sent packing once again. So just a couple more kills, padding the stats of these mountain trolls as they charge them down. But yeah, a lot of units are now being brought up, and as I said, where are they? There's more Orc pikes there as well. God, they brought a lot of pikes. Yeah, but more of the Guards of the Teeth are so scary, and now they've been committed. I don't really see how they're going to be able to deal with this. I really don't. Also, they're actually taking the city center as well, somehow. I mean, there's so many more High Chieftain Guard here than anything else, and yet the Uruks are counting for more for some reason. Just imagine how pissed you'd be if they actually won by timer here. That'd be insane. I can see it's not going to happen because the battle lasts another 7 minutes, but even still, like, imagine you're fighting hard, you're holding the enemy back, and you've got more units on the city center, and yet the attacker just takes it for whatever reason. I'm still a bit shocked we're not seeing this unit being brought around now. It's just kind of sitting there and seems like it would be definitely put to good use if it was brought up. More of a shock infantry being brought now. Yeah, you have to fall back here because them guards of the teeth, even if they have lost, you know, a handful of soldiers, they're already up to 31 kills. You basically just need to pull back and let them commit to this fight. And just use your archers, especially now they're up here. These archers will be invaluable at hitting them and doing as much damage as possible. Problem is, though, you kill one, there's still 2 more left, the general and the other unit. So I think this is very unlikely that the goblins will win this one at any point, just solely because of the sheer amount of guards of the teeth that are still here. Nice little move here as well. The attackers seizing this opportunity to kind of come around this side position here and go in. What the hell is that? Is that the troll's broken? What the hell is this troll doing? This troll's going on an adventure. He's going to go destroy the one ring. Look at him go. He's like, yeah, I'm out of here. The ring is mine, and mine alone. Oh, sorry, totally forgot about that. Let me just head back. Look at this dude go. And he's actually going to just trample through all these units as well as he tries to make his way back to the unit. Yeah, I guess the trolls are just sitting back, trying to force the attacking player to use more of his pikes. But using them like in an engagement like this would not be a bad idea. I don't see why the trolls don't get brought into this fight. Could definitely quickly turn it. I mean, obviously, then more guards of the teeth will be committed to there and you'll have to pull back. But I think they'd get the damage done. And now the arrow fire is solely focused on this position. Some more of a high chieftain guarder here. This dude is like T-posing. He's like, Sauron protect. Unfortunately, Sauron could not protect him this day. Yeah, I mean, they are actually cutting through the guards of the teeth. But look at about 150 kills now on them. That is insane. Maybe what you could do is like bring the trolls out of here. Use that gate that they do still control to their advantage. Like come around and then hit the guards of the teeth from the back. But problem is there, the guards of the teeth will just turn around. And you also have like pikes back here and some other units. I don't know. You have to use these trolls, though. You have to try your best to commit them to this fight. Now, if you commit the guards of the teeth over here, this is the play. Definitely, you want to bring these trolls out and either hit into the back here and here. Unfortunately, though, your right flank is now gone. There are several units still left remaining here. But yeah, not looking good whatsoever. The arrow fight is coming in. Still 230, 40, 50, 60 kills. That number is going up so fast in the bottom left of your screen. Guards of the teeth are just massacring them. And I think, yeah, these trolls getting committed about a little bit too late. They need to be a bit more proactive there. They need to kind of commit in a little bit quicker. And unfortunately, we're not able to do so. And even though the Uruk force is decimated, look at this. Like so many units that are basically dead that have been brought back out of back into reserve. There's just not a lot. There's just not a lot left for the trolls. And even though they definitely paid themselves a lot of kills, and they'll continue to get a lot of kills, even against pikes. The guards of the teeth are now being committed. That's really the crux of the battle. I mean, that's a problem. I don't think this roster has a way of dealing with guards of the teeth. Unless it's like an open field battle or you have enough archers just to solely focus them. I just don't think the goblins have a way of dealing with them. Let me know if you guys think they do down below in the comments. You know, they're kind of effectively hitting them, but there's just so many kills and they're just trading so poorly, unfortunately. More soldiers being brought around here. I mean, maybe, you know, if they could have just got like all their archers on these guys, then you also need to be dealing with the other pikes. And yeah, I guess maybe 2 units of trolls and then trying to get around, like I said, when you have the opportunity to. Because you can see the devastate, like these trolls weren't, I will say this, these trolls weren't used that effectively in this battle. And they're up to 150 kills, like, that's not bad. That's basically an entire unit of Uruk Throng, and they're still fairly healthy. So you could have quite easily have got around the back and dealt with them. But yeah, the guards of the teeth, MVPs of this battle, that's for sure. And we can probably just speed things up now. It does seem like, yeah, the battle is well and truly lost now. The Goblin King holding the line, and the Goblin Incursion being brought around. With more guards of the teeth here as well, going to be sent in. I am impressed though with these Goblin Bane warriors. They definitely went above and beyond my expectations in this battle. I didn't think they were going to be as strong as they were. They do match up pretty nicely against the medium tier infantry. The trolls are still going. And as I said, trolls in the back of these guys would have been the way to probably go. As I'm now up to 190 kills, so they basically traded for an entire Uruk throng. Not worth it at the moment. But they also apply kind of a debuff as well to the enemy ranks as well. That's going to be it, unfortunately. The Goblins have very little left in them. And yeah, they're getting slaughtered now on that left-hand side. Now the pikes are being committed, but General's going to break, and that is going to be GG. So it does seem like the Goblin incursion has been brought down. But overall, that was actually a much closer battle than it looked. It was basically the Guards of Batib coming in at the end and clutching it. You met, like, I kind of got the vibe that, you know, Mordor was always kind of well ahead of the Goblins that entire time. They really weren't. It's just they brought a lot of their units out of battle as they were getting weakened and threw in new ones, so that's kind of what really turned the tide. But yeah, it was the Guards of the Team. If they were maybe capped at one unit, this would have been a completely different battle. And they had a lot of pikes, right? They had, what, 5-6 units of pikes? And the Goblins, yeah, just don't have the capability of destroying that, I don't think. They definitely did struggle. And the Uruk throng as well, kind of doing their job. Plenty of kills there. So if you guys enjoyed this battle, make sure you drop a like and a comment down below. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.